Thursday, January 23rd, 2024 or 2025. The other day I made a dream about Linnea. My homie said I said 2023. But anyways, this dream happened yesterday. I forgot to post it because I don't post my dreams all the time anymore because I don't need online validation of being prophetic or anything of that. I just keep them to myself because it's a personal relationship with God. You know what I mean? So I don't have to tell nobody nothing. I don't have to prophesy for nobody. I don't have to fucking redirect them or anything. And if I do, it's because I love God. But anyways, back to the story. Not yesterday, but the day before yesterday, I was yelling outside about the prophecy of the Last Supper. They would use food against you. They would try to give you a Last Supper, and they would try to take away your blessings. That's as simple as that. In one way, shape, or another. And the way they used food against me, it was they poisoned it. And then they used witchcraft. So the Last Supper is a prophecy for me and the disciples and Christ. In the picture, the Last Supper across the world didn't touch none of the food, but we're all talking to each other in rumors, meaning it would be because of rumors, truths, or lies, haters, whatever the case may be. So the prophecy of the Last Supper was telling you there would be an anointed one, a chosen one, and they would use food against you. And the same thing they use against you is the same thing that you would prosper in. Because in the Bible it says, he'll set a table and a feast before your enemies and give you your blessings in front of your enemies. So they're all jealous and shit. And people are all jealous I could sing and fucking be funny and shit. Hey, just play. But anyways, the dream was I went to two churches in Independence. But in my dream, I didn't actually live it. I just knew I went to two churches, right? And then I went to Salem. I went to the church I was baptized in, St. Joseph's Church in Salem, Oregon, downtown. St. Joseph is the stepfather of Christ, but he was like a real father to him. Raised him, a carpenter, etc. And I've always been a good stepfather my whole life. All my exes have you can ask, I'm immaculate at being a father. Even my homegirls throughout my life, you'll be a good father one day, you'll be a good father one day. Little did they know I was going to be a prophet and a prophetic father and a godfather by God himself. So they were right. One day I will. But the dream was I went to Salem, and after I left two churches in Independence, Monmouth area, and I think it's the two churches, Monmouth, I think it's the Mormon church and the Catholic church. But I left two churches in Monmouth, and then I went to my St. Joseph's church, and inside the church where they have the pews, they had a big old table, and it was like the Last Supper table. After mentioning the Last Supper and the prophecy out loud in my front of my house, I had this dream, right? And God was confirming with a prophetic dream of the table that the Last Supper prophecy for me was true. With a prophetic dream. And everybody knows I have prophetic dreams and prophetic visions and so on and so forth. Prophetic words, etc. So he confirmed for me that I was being correct, at least in one way, shape, or form or another, of the Last Supper being a prophecy. Not only from the past, but for the future and the present. So I was in my dream, and there was a table of food. I felt no negativity there. Almost no negativity. I seen a black guy who was a father, a priest. And then the other guy was Mexican, a priest. Two priests that I don't think I've ever seen before. The Mexican one looked familiar. The Mexican one looked really familiar. And I'm sitting at the table just grubbing out like Thanksgiving or a king. It was like one of those long tables. Like you know how the kings sit at one of those long tables on the edge and then everyone's sitting out at the sides. It was like one of them long ass tables. And I was sitting on the normal side of the table and I was eating. And everybody there was eating. And that means that one day, everybody that kind of helped me in that dream would eat with me. Meaning that if I go to church, I'm probably going to have like a soul tribe or people who will really care or give a fuck or have understanding. And when I meet them, some of those people will be there with me at my table because all they want to do is uplift me. Even if they have judgments, they push them to the back of their mind and they accept me for who I am. Because God accepts me for who I am. So if you can't accept me for who I am, then you're not really godly. Because God accepts all people and everybody. So how could you be of God and not accept me? But anyways, I was grubbing out and I looked besides me and there's people there eating with me. And I'm grubbing in the middle of the table like Christ. So I was in the middle of these other people on the middle of the table. But instead, I was eating and everything was good. The food was good. The people there, I didn't feel no negativity in my dream. Other than I had this thought in my brain about a black guy because I've been stalked by black people and made up lies and all types of shit. It's just crazy. Whatever. I don't give a fuck. Anyways, I'll beat their ass one day. But I was sitting in the middle of the table like Christ at the Last Supper, but I was eating good, beautiful food in a church. In the church I was baptized at. I was baptized at St. Joseph. And God, I believe God gave me this dream. I know God gave me this dream as confirmation, but you know what I mean? And I was sitting in the middle of the table like Christ was standing in the Last Supper in the middle. So meaning that I was the Christ in this generation in one way, shape, or another. Even if it's just prophetically anointed, helping people, I was the most one like Christ. I've already been to heaven, projected to heaven and seen Father on his throne. He tried to hide his face from me because he didn't want me to know he looked like me. Hey, but I was standing on the right of him. When I face him, I was standing on the right of him. But if I'm facing out, I was standing on the left of him. So I could be Christ himself reincarnated because I'm making a new religion and a new book. So a new documentation. So when you look at him on the throne, I was on his right. And the only one to be on his right at the throne is Christ himself. But if you look from the point of view behind him, I'm on his left. On the cross, when they put Christ depiction on it, his head is always, I think, to the left, right? Or right? Answer that question, though. And then, anyways, I was eating food, and I felt good. I got up after eating food. I met this priest. He was black, a younger black guy. And then I met the other priest. He was a Mexican. And they were talking to me and stuff of that nature. I felt uncomfortable with the black guy. I don't know why. I just felt uncomfortable. But I also felt good. But when I walked to this other table and there was two sodas. One was a 7-Up and one was like a Sprite or something. And I seen them and I was grabbing one and I was going to another church. In my dreams, there was a church across the street from St. Joseph's. St. Joseph's was across the street. Or St. Joseph's had another church across the street. In real life, there's no church across the street. So it was just a symbolism of me heading to another church in Salem. And when I headed to the church, I seen my homie Giovanni, and I seen, and someone was hating on me. One of my old friends or something was hating on me while I was trying to go to another church and receive more blessings. And then we ended up walking downtown, what looked like kind of like the Capitol, but it looked different. It looked way different, like the tiled Capitol. And then I'm walking, and we're like in a busy area. People are walking by. It almost looked like we're like at a state fair or something. A whole bunch of people walking. And my homie Giovanni was in the dream, and he was hating on me, and someone else was hating on me. And I didn't really trip, but I was headed to the church, meaning that one of my old friends is going to pop up in my life and either hate on me or try to deter me from my path, try to deter me from reaching my other blessings. But it won't stop me. It'll just me. It'll be me talking to him, realigning them to do better and making it to the next church. Meaning that someone's probably going to try to stop me from going to Salem, or someone's going to try to stop me from going to the next church and eating a feast. Meaning that I would overcome every witchcraft, everyone poisoning me, and they would either be in jail or dead, or get set straight and realigned. I even block positive witchcraft and prayers from other people because I wanted to prove that my God is stronger and that I could make it through. So even when they pray over my food in a different religion or a different thing, or they do witchcraft over my food, that's good. It gives me a headache because naturally I don't want to intake other people's energy at all. So I drain it like a siphon in a psychic, and then I reintegrate it as a protection. So no one has been doing protections over me or prayers over me except me, myself, and I, Father God, Holy Spirit, and Jesus Christ. Because even when they do positive witchcraft on me, I cancel it out. And I put my own protections. But anyways, that was a dream of me going to 2 churches in Independence, Monmouth area, and feasting and being good, and people accepting me. And then me going to Salem, and again, after I already solidified myself in Monmouth and Independence area, I go to Salem, and I get solidified over there. But then I have some haters from Salem come my way to try to deter me from my path and stop me from making it to my next blessings. But I have already earned all my blessings. So this is prophetically aligning with the Last Supper prophecy.